Well, guys, today we are going to be talking about, as I was telling you, about something that is really used and really common in English. And those are the pronouns. What do you know about it? If I say that word, pronouns, what comes to your mind? I'm going to send it through the chat. What is that? What is a pronoun? What do you imagine if I say pronouns? What do you think? For example, guys,
Pronombres,
pronombres, and what is that? ¿Qué es un pronombre?
él, ella, ellos, eso.
But okay, yeah, we have multiple pronouns, but what is a pronoun? Like, what's the definition of pronoun? What is that?
The way to call a subject without saying its name.
Okay, that's one definition. Someone else with a different idea? What's a pronoun, guys?
Teacher, a pronoun it's a word that can function by itself as a noun.
That's it. It's something like that. It's a word that can work on its own as a noun. You can replace, for example, the proper name. You can replace like the subject by that. You can say the subject of the sentence again with that, and so on. Well, that's a pronoun. So, my dears, how many types of pronouns do we have? What do you think? Do we have just one type of pronouns, or do we have more? Or let me ask you, which pronouns do you know? For example, Jacob was saying like, okay, teacher, I, you, he, she, it, we, they, whatever. But do we have more? Do you think that we have more pronouns, more kinds of pronouns or not?
Los relative pronouns, aquí está.
Relative pronouns, okay, kinda. It is more like reflexive pronouns, not that relative, but reflexive. We have a lot, guys. We are going to begin our class today with a video. The voice of the guy of the video is really interesting. It is like a weird voice. But the idea with the video is not to check the voice of the guy, is to check the explanation and the multiple pronouns he is going to talk to us about, okay? So at the end of the video, we are going to have a time or some time to take a look of these pronouns, and then we are going to try to understand it together. At the end, we are going to have our explanation with the slides and so on, and we are going to have some time to practice. And basically, that's going to be our today's class. Questions about it?
Teacher, can you give us the link of the video?
I am going to send you the link. Yes, I am going to share my screen, however, and it is not like, it's not like a lot of voice you're going to listen, but however, I'm going to send it to you. Okay, that's the link. I am going to play that video right now, guys. If you have questions, just let me know.
English pronouns. Subject pronouns, object pronouns, possessive adjectives, possessive pronouns, reflexive pronouns. First person, I, me, my, mine, myself. Second person, you, your, yours, yourself. Third person, male, he, him, his, his, himself. Third person female, she, her, her, hers, herself. Third thing, it, its, not used, itself. First person plural, we, us, our, ours, ourselves. Second person plural, you, your, yours, yourselves. Third person and thing, plural, they, them, their, theirs, themselves.
Okay, my dears, that's the video. We are going to begin with a brief, how can I say this? Like a brief analysis of the video we have watched. So let me ask you this, guys. Did you know we had all this type of pronouns? Maybe not. But I'm super sure, guys, that all of you have used at least 2 or 3 of them in your life as a English learner. So we are going to begin with the analysis of the first one. Subject pronouns. What is a subject pronoun? What is this? Take into account like the subjects you have here. So how could you define subjects pronouns? What is that? What would you
The
say?
way you call someone or something.
When you call someone or something, someone else? So babies, as you can see here, these are the normal ones, the ones we usually use in English. I, you, he, she, it, we, they, like the normal subjects we use in English. What's the most important thing you should know about subject pronouns? The subject pronouns, guys, are the ones who are going to make the action in the sentence. These are going to be the ones who are going to perform the action. Okay, so for example, you can say, I am watching TV. The one who is watching TV is I. Can you see? She is studying English. The person who is studying English is she. Or you can say, we are friends. The ones who are friends are we. Can you see? So the subject pronouns are the ones who are going to be usually organized or placed at the very beginning of the sentence, maybe in the middle, it doesn't matter, but those are going to be the ones who are going to make the action, the ones who are going to perform the action, okay? So that's like a brief opening. What about object pronouns? What can you say about object pronouns? What is that? Look at the change, me, you, him, her. What is that? What do you think by taking into account the words you have here on the screen? Object pronouns.
I think it's the ones that receive the action.
The ones that receive the action. Very good, Jacob. Do you remember, guys, when we talk about passive voice? Do you remember that when we talk about it, passive voice? Oh my
Yep,
God. What is passive voice, guys?
the object is more important than the subject.
That's it. So guys, when we were talking about passive voice, instead of saying I write some letters. We say some letters are written by me. Can you see? The main subject is going to change and it is not going to be anymore like the subject pronoun. It is going to change into the object pronoun, the one who is receiving the action. Okay? So, when we have object pronouns, you can say, for example, I give them cookies every week. I, a subject pronoun, I am the person who is making the action, and the one who is receiving the action is them. Okay? They are receiving the action. I will go with him. Yo voy a ir con él. Yo soy la persona que hace la acción. El que está recibiendo la acción es él. Por eso está al final. Object pronouns, the ones who receive the action. There is another difference, guys, with the subject pronouns. Usually, when you have subject pronouns, babies, you are going to find out that those are going to be at the beginning of the sentence, as I was telling you. But what happened with the object pronouns? Where are the object pronouns placed in a sentence? What do you think? Take into account the examples I just gave you. Look at this. Instead of saying, I watch TV, you can say, TV is watched by me. She will go with him. In which part of the sentence am I placing the object pronoun? ¿En qué parte de la oración lo estoy poniendo, amores? Guys, ¿en qué parte de la oración va? What do you think? I'm going to send you the example through the chat.
If we're talking in passive voice, in which part does it go? The object pronoun?
Not only passive voice in general, because this is not used just in passive voice. That was just an example, un ejemplo. But you can use this in more occasions. For example, this one, I will go with him. There you have an object pronoun, but that is not passive voice. My question is, in which part of the sentence do you have to place the object pronoun? At the beginning, in the middle, or in the end?
At the beginning or at the end? It
It can be
depends.
twice. I mean, it can be in two places. It is just one place. In this case, guys, take a look to the example I sent through the chat.
It's in the last part.
Is
But
in the last part.
for example, if I say I will go with him to the cinema, it's in the middle. And if I say he will come with me. Ah, no, mentira, en la mitad también no dije nada.
It's usually at the end. I mean, if you take into account just the basic structure for the sentence without complement, just this one, I will go with him. It is going to be at the end. I mean, it is not going to be the one who is going to make the action. It is going to be the one who is going to receive the action. Keep it in mind. That's an object pronoun. The pronoun, the subject, the person, the thing who received the action, okay? What about possessive adjectives? What is that? Because this is part of English pronouns even when those are adjectives. But look at this, you have possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. What is the difference, first of all, between possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns? What is the difference?
I think adjectives are the ones that define the subject, and the pronouns, possessive pronouns, is when you talk about something that is possessive. No sé cómo explicarlo. Algo que hace, que es de alguien más bien.
Okay, algo que es de alguien. In both cases, you are going to be talking about possession. En ambos casos, tú vas a estar diciendo algo que es de alguien, okay? What's the difference between an adjective and a pronoun? What is an adjective? Just an adjective, not possessive, but adjective. What is that? ¿Qué es un adjetivo, mis amores? ¿Qué hace un adjetivo en una oración?
Define a alguien o algo.
Claro, te da características, cualidades. El pronoun is just the subject. So look at this. Possessive adjective. In this case, you have my, your, his, her. The possessive adjectives, guys, are the ones we use to express who owns or who possess something. And this is used with a noun. Tú usas un adjetivo con un sustantivo. Tú no puedes usar un adjetivo solito porque no estás describiendo a nadie. So the difference is that you are going to use an adjective with a noun. So for example, my computer. You have the possessive adjective, in this case is my, and you have a noun that in this case is computer. This is my computer. That is your pen. For example, this is our car. So you have a possessive one, and then you have a noun. Then you have like the subject. Can you see? This is to talk about possession. Tú lo vas a usar para hablar de posesión, pero siempre, siempre, siempre lo vas a usar diciendo qué es lo que posees, es decir, el noun, el sustantivo. For example, you can say, you can make it with questions. What's your address? Can you see? Your, and then you have address, that is a noun. You can say, this is Jack, and this is his wife, Sue. His wife. You have his, like the possessive adjective, and wife as the noun. That's a possessive adjective. So what is a possessive pronoun? What is that? Si esto es para hablar de posesión, con los sustantivos y demás, para decir esto es de esta persona o de esta cosa, ¿qué pasa con los possessive pronouns? What do you think? What could be the difference between adjectives and pronouns? No. So, my dears, the main difference is this one. This is also to talk about possession. Este también te va a servir para hablar de posesión. It's talk about possession. But the main difference, guys, is that here with possessive adjectives, you need a noun. Con los adjetivos necesitas otro sujeto, necesitas un sustantivo. But with possessive pronouns, como ya son pronombres, no necesitas nada más, no tienes que poner un noun. ¿Listo? What happened? Look at these examples. You can say, for example, if someone asks, whose this pen is? So the answer is, oh, it's mine. That's mine. Can you see? Or you can say, that's Anna's homework and this is yours. Estos van solos, no necesitan estar al lado de un sustantivo para funcionar o para entender de quién es. For example, if you say, is this Carol's bicycle? And the answer is no, that red one over there is hers. Tú acá, con los posesivos, los adjetivos posesivos, tienes que poner el adjetivo y al lado pegadito de una el sustantivo. Acá no. Acá estás usando el pronoun solito y usualmente va al final de la oración. Can you see? Something like that. So, for example, I am friend of his. You are a student of mine. Yo puedo decir, you are my students, possessive adjective, or I can say, you are a student of mine, possessive pronouns. And finally, guys, what is a reflexive pronoun according to this image? What is this? What do you think? What is a reflexive pronoun according to this image? Look at the words you have there. You have myself, yourself, himself, herself. So what is that, guys? What is a reflexive pronoun according to this? What do you think? No one. Miren los ejemplos. ¿Para qué creen que usamos los pronombres reflexivos, mis amores? What do you think is this word for?
I have no idea.
No idea. Jacob, have you ever used the word myself in your life?
I think so.
¿Y cómo lo has usado?
I don't know. I know by myself this thing, or maybe
That's a really good example. I know by myself this, whatever. So, what is that? For example, if I say, guys, can you please study by yourself? I cannot be here with you. ¿Qué les estoy diciendo ahí?
es como experiencia propia o bueno, propia dependiendo del sujeto que se utilice.
Something like that. A reflexive pronoun, guys, are used when the subject and the object of a sentence are the same. Cuando el sujeto de tu oración y el objeto que recibe la acción es el mismo sujeto, ahí aparecen los reflexive pronouns. It's easier to understand. It's when you can do the things on your own or when people can do things on their own. Cuando pueden hacer las cosas por sí mismos. Yo hago la acción y la acción misma recae en mí. For example, I can study English by myself. Tú estás estudiando inglés. ¿Y sobre quién recae la acción de estudiar inglés? También sobre ti. I can do this by myself. He can go to the school by himself. Como él puede hacerlo por su cuenta, por sí mismo. Él mismo está recibiendo la acción. Entonces, cuando el sujeto de tu oración es el mismo que está recibiendo la acción, como diciéndolo por su cuenta, ahí, mis amores, es cuando aparecen los reflexive pronouns. ¿Ok? For example, teacher, we can be by ourselves here at school. Or you can say, okay, they can go to the park by themselves, por su cuenta. Can you see? So that's really easy. That's really easy. So you can say, I am going to give you this. Look at this. Cynthia pours a cup of tea for me every morning. Cynthia está haciendo una taza, bueno, sirve una tacita de té para mí. Ella hace una acción, la acción la recibo yo. En ese caso, simplemente son subject pronouns y object pronouns. Pero cuando Cynthia se hace la tacita de café para ella misma, ¿cómo lo decimos? Cynthia pours a cup of tea for herself every morning, para ella misma. So that's it. This is just an opening, guys. This is just an opening of pronouns. But please let me know, do you have questions up to this point about the general definition? Questions about general definitions, something about it? Okay, so that's the main topic we are going to be talking about, but we are going to be focused right now in these three. We are going to talk about reflexive, possessive, and personal pronouns, okay? Reflexive, possessive, and personal pronouns. Personal pronouns is like the main category where you have subject pronouns, object pronouns. Digamos que en ese personal pronouns entran varios. Entran todos estos. Personal pronouns, let me show you the video again. Personal pronouns are subject pronouns and object pronouns. Estos dos de aquí y también estos de acá. O sea, todo esto son personal pronouns, todos esos. Solo que tienen diferentes categorías. So, we are going to begin. Oh my gosh, that's not the first one. Okay, this one. Let's begin with this one. What are personal pronouns? We just talked about it, but I am going to ask Emily, can you please help me reading this slide, princess? Emily, are you there, baby? What are personal pronouns? Okay, maybe not. So, Jesus, can you please help me reading this slide? Wow, I feel like I'm working on my own. So, Jose, can you please help me reading this slide? I guess they fall asleep because of the rain. Juan Camilo. Juan Camilo, can you please help me reading this slide?
Teacher,
Tell
my
me.
internet connection went off. What are we doing? Sorry.
Oh, I am waiting for someone to answer to me because there is no one here. I have asked to four of your partners to help me reading one slide, and you are not here. Maybe I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know what's going
sorry.
on.
The last part that I saw, I think it was the presentation, the YouTube video. Like at the end when you finished explaining the reflexive pronouns.
Yeah, we are going to. I mean, I just changed the screen because this is like the presentation for you to have some definitions, but we are going to talk a bit more about reflexive pronouns in some minutes. So don't worry, I'm going to explain that again.
Okay.
Okay. So let me check. Maybe Luis Felipe, can you please help me reading this slide, darling?
Yes, teacher. What are personal pronouns? Personal pronouns stand in for people, places, things, and ideas.
Thank you. So, guys, personal pronouns are the ones who are there and that you can use to talk about people, places, things, ideas, and so on. So, we have multiple kinds of personal pronouns. So, I'm going to show you. There are many personal pronouns. We have these divided in first person, second person, and third person. So we are going to begin with this chart. Luis Felipe, please continue. Personal pronouns in first person. Can you please read this?
Okay, teacher. First person. I, me, my, mine, we, us, our, ours.
Okay, that's it. Second person.
Teacher, wait a moment, please.
Tell me.
Espérame, profe. Que se me corta. Espérame.
Okay, let's wait a bit for Pepe. So guys, when he arrived, can you see in first person, you have the ones we talk about. I, me, my, mine. Those are the same ones you have here. I'm going to go back to the video. In the video, can you see I, me, my, mine? All of these, the ones that are like in purple, orange, and those kind of colors, are personal pronouns. Los pronombres personales tienen diferentes categorías. Subject pronouns, object pronouns, possessive pronouns, and adjectives. Los reflexive pronouns no entran ahí. Eso es otra cosa. ¿Listo? But personal pronouns are the ones you have here. So let's go back to the slides. Pepe, can you continue? Are you ready? If no,
Yes, teacher, sorry.
what about the
Second,
second person?
okay, second person. You, your, yours.
That's it. And in third person, guys, this is the one with the most because third person is he, she, and it. But we are going to check them. Go ahead, Pepe.
Okay, third person. He, him, his, she, her, hers, they, them, their, theirs, it, its, who, one,
Whom,
whom, whose.
whose. Look at this, guys. Can you see that in the last part of the presentation you have who, whom, and whose? We just talked about this year. Ya hablamos de eso este año y hace poquito. So I am not going to stop in this part because we just talked about it. Okay, like 2 topics ago. So in general, guys, personal pronouns are the ones that are going to help you to indicate possession, or maybe when the subject did the action, or maybe when the subject is the one who is receiving the action, and so on. We are going to check some examples. So the examples are going to be done by Samuel. Sammy, can you please help me reading the example?
Okay, the boy hopes that someone will give him a cookie from the table.
That's it. The boy hopes that someone will give him a cookie from the table. Sammy, which subject pronoun you can identify here? What's the subject pronoun? Oh, sorry, the personal pronoun you can identify here. What's the pronoun in that case?
I don't know.
Let's go back to the chart. Let me go back, don't worry. Once again, take a look to these ones. Tun, 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 tun. Do you have some of these words, or at least one word
Okay.
here?
I understand. Yeah, him.
Him, that's it, very good. So, the pronoun in this case is him. Tú sabes que es un pronoun porque te lo dicen así, es una forma diferente de hablar del sujeto. Eso es un pronoun, una forma diferente de hablar del sujeto. Por eso es pronoun y no noun. El noun es como tal el sujeto y puede ser the boy. The boy is a noun. A pronoun es una forma de hablar del sujeto sin decir su nombre específico o su género, o ¿sí me entienden? So in this case is him. Look at this. The object form of the pronoun is used because the pronoun him is an indirect object. Este es un objeto indirecto. ¿Ves? Este es el que está recibiendo la acción. Él espera que alguien le dé a él mismo algo. Okay? So that's an example. Let me know, guys. Do you have questions up to this point? Something to say? At the end of the presentation, I am going to go back through it, and I am going to give you the chance to take notes. Don't forget, guys, that you can use your notes in the final exam. So my suggestion is for you to use notes. Let's continue. Those are personal pronouns. What about reflexive pronouns? Let's talk a bit about it once again. Paez, can you please help me reading this slide, baby?
Did you call me teacher?
I am asking to Paez. Paez. Paez is here with me? Not here. So maybe Mariana, Ayala, Princess, can you please help me reading this slide?
Okay, teacher. It is usually used when the object of a sentence is the same as the subject.
Okay. Reflexive pronouns. This is something, as we were saying some seconds ago, that is used when the object of a sentence is the same as the subject. So, as the examples I gave you. Remember, guys, that in reflexive pronouns, each personal pronoun, like I, you, she, we, they, whatever, each subject pronoun, por así decirlo, cada uno de los subject pronouns, is going to have their reflexive pronouns. So, for example, I is going to be myself. You is going to be yourself. You, in plural, is going to be yourselves. What's the difference between this you and this you? What's the difference? Think about it for a second. What's the difference between you in singular and you in plural?
The question is, what is the difference to single and plural?
Can you please repeat?
Can you repeat the question?
Don't worry. What's the difference between you in singular and you in plural?
No, teacher, I don't know.
No? It's easy, guys. What is the meaning of you? If I say, for example, to Pepe, you are my best student. ¿Qué estoy diciéndole? Solo Luis Felipe, you are my best student.
¿Soy tu mejor estudiante?
Le estoy diciendo, tú eres mi mejor estudiante. You are my best student. Tú lo eres. So you in singular is tú. What happened if I say to the entire 90th grade, you are my best students? What am I saying?
Ustedes son mis mejores estudiantes.
Ustedes son mis mejores estudiantes. Can you see? Esto es tú y esto es ustedes. So, when you have reflexive pronouns in singular, it is yourself. What is the meaning of self? Like one person, on or on, one person. This is in singular. Can you see myself, one person, yourself, one person. But in plural, it's going to be selves with VES. So in plural, yourselves, ustedes, por ustedes mismos. Okay, he himself, she herself, it itself, we ourself. Miren que esta otra vez es plural y no termina en self así, sino en self con VES. As well as they, themselves, and so on. Okay? So, my dears, questions about it up to this point? Nope. Great, let's continue. Don't forget, I am going to give you time to take notes. I am going to go back slide by slide, and then you can take notes. But first, the explanation. And finally, guys, once again, let's go back to possessive pronouns. So I am going to ask to Juana, Princess, can you please help me reading this part, this slide? Let me make it bigger for you.
The possessive pronouns are used to substitute a noun and to show possession or ownership.
That's it. So once again, guys, possessive pronouns, the ones we use to talk about possession. The possessive pronouns, guys, are going to substitute a noun. Son los que te lo van a reemplazar y te van a mostrar posesión. So as we said, let's go back to the chart. Let me go back to the chart. Possessive pronouns, you don't have to mention the noun, no lo necesitas pronunciar con un sustantivo. Estos funcionan por su cuenta. Can you see? So that's mine, that's yours, this is hers. So possessive pronouns, to talk about possession, to show ownership. Questions about these guys? Questions about the possessive pronouns? No? We are
No,
going to
teacher.
read. Okay. We are going to read these ones and we are about to finish with the explanation. Then it's going to be just practice because, yeah, the explanation and the theory is really nice, but we have to practice. So, for example, Jacob, can you please help me reading the first part of this slide, darling?
Yes. My, mine, our, ours, its, his, her, hers, their, theirs, your, yours, woes, and ones are the possessive pronouns. Do I read the example?
Yes, please.
Example, this is your disc and that's mine. Mine substitutes the word disc and shows that it belongs to me.
That's it. So, my dears, possessive pronouns are the ones you are going to use to replace the noun. Miren que el noun es este, el sujeto es este. Pero acá lo estoy diciendo. Tú puedes decir, this is your disc and that's my disc. But instead of saying discs 100 times, you can just change it by mine. It substitutes. So, questions about it? No questions? Are you sure? Okay. Oh my gosh. So what are we going to do right now, babies? Right now, I am going to give you some time. Let's stop here. I am going to give you some time to take notes. So I am going to go part by part for the presentation. However, I am going to stop the recording of the class right now because this is the part that you are going to find out in the YouTube channel and in today's forum. Don't forget that you are going to find the link in today's forum, just for you to know. My suggestion, guys, please take notes. It's necessary, it's important for you to study. So let me stop the recording of the class and then we are going to continue.